All strap yourselves in. I'm going to make the jump to light speed.
What's up, Hyperdrivers, and welcome to the Sunday Live Show, otherwise known as Star Wars Church. I am the Medina-Lorian, and we're here to talk about the Sons of Tatooine, or the Book of Boba Fett, or the Book of the Mandalorian, or whatever this show is now called. With me, breaking this stuff down, is my man, the Raging Mando. What is going on, Frankie? How you doing?
Oh, good. Just making my cameo appearance.
There you go. There you go. We got Jeff Rohde in the house. What's up, Jeff?
What's up, guys? Good morning.
What's up, man? We got Eben the Collector. How you doing, bro?
What's up, Scumming Villainy?
Hey, we got Josh Pence. What's up, Josh?
What's up, man?
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And we got my man Ralph from No More Mutants. What's going on, dude?
What's up, guys? Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, absolutely, man. We're gonna have a good time talking about the show. You're gonna change a few things up today. You know, I'm trying to see if we can make the show a little bit better, a little more fun. So we're gonna do a few more things. One, I'm a lot more prepared this time, so I got video to add to the show. We got some pictures and stuff to go over. Got lots of questions, but instead of having a single question directed at everybody, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask a single person a question, and then everybody's gonna have a chance to either debate that answer that the person gave, including people in the chat, or you can agree with them and, to support it, if you guys support his answer, or in this case, his answer. We don't have her yet. Eventually we will. If you want to follow any of these fine gentlemen, I left links to all of their channels and Instagram pages in the links below, so you guys can catch all the cool content that they have on their channels. So make sure you do that. All right. So let's say hi to everybody in the chat right now. We got 20 people watching. We got Dennis Perez in the house from Puerto Rico. What's going on, dude? We got Eben the Collector in the chat. We got Thor. What's up, Thor? How you doing? We got Sky Guy Collector. What's up, dude? We got Jersey Geek. What's up, guys? I'm about to leave work in a little bit, so I'll probably have this playing in the background. That's cool. Appreciate it. Len Hanson's in the house. What's going on? We got SW77_Flex. What's going on, dude? Michelle Nooney. How you doing, Michelle? We got Jonathan Laird. We got Craig. What's going on, dude? He's here in spirit, like a Force ghost. We got
multitasking right now.
Scott Berry. What's up, man? We got Thor in the house. What's going on, dude? We got Frankie's in the chat as well. Scouring down to see if anybody else. Jeff is also in the chat. You guys are awesome. You guys are on the panel and on the chat. We got Big D. What's going on, dude? Colin Grant. How you doing? And Josh is there in the chat as well. We got OMFG Rick and Lobo Masters. And I think we're caught up with everybody. So cool. All right. So let's kick this off going, right? Bring this over here so I get all my stuff. So first up, let's talk about the best cameo appearance in this episode of Boba Fett right here.
The Pike Syndicate has been gathering soldiers the last few weeks. Mayor Mark Shays is on their payroll and has flown off-world, which leads us to believe the storm is about to break.
It was a scheduled vacation, actually.
All right. So what did you guys think? Start off with Josh, man. Josh, what did you think about the cameo appearance of Boba Fett on the Book of Boba Fett? Was it special? Was it everything you hoped for? Let me know.
I don't know, man. It's just speechless. Like I said last week with last week's episode, I don't understand how we're having great episodes when the character of the show is not even in it. It's disappointing, but it's awesome at the same time. So I don't know, dude. I was actually surprised that we didn't get a Boba Fett episode this week. So that's my answer. Is I'm shocked that we're getting cameos of the main character. It's weird, but it is what it is.
True. What do you guys think? Anybody agree with that? You guys debate that? What do you all think?
Stupid.
No, totally, man. Did not expect that to happen at all.
I'm with Josh. I didn't think it was going to be an episode without Boba. I thought it was going to be Boba's. I was wrong even last week when I said Mark is not going to show up. Surprise!
Yeah,
I was completely wrong. But geez, they took the thunder from Tamora. He didn't even have a speaking line. It's almost insulting. Even not just to Tamora, but to fans who are dying to see this character like we saw him in the second seasons of The Mandalorian, and we haven't seen that. And I guess we're going to get a cliffhanger.
True. All right. Everybody else, same thing?
Yeah, I agree, man. So it's called Book of Boba Fett for a reason. And what they did is they just went back to the original trilogy where he was just a background character. And I think he had more screen time back then.
He did. You're right.
He was a lot more impactful.
Yeah.
I pretty much agree with everybody. I mean, it was a great episode, but this is the Book of Boba Fett.
Right.
I don't get it.
All right.
It's pretty sad when the addition to A New Hope, the add-on scene, he looks more menacing there than this whole series.
All right.
Yes. With Jabba.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it should have been called Guardians of Tatooine if this is the case. Because, we're all still focused on Tatooine, and it's not really the Book of Boba Fett. He hasn't been taking down names. It's just I don't get it.
Sky Guy in the comments is saying the show is good, but the marketing of the name of the show is what's confusing about it. Do you guys think if they maybe renamed the show, it would be better?
Probably.
I think we wouldn't have had such high expectations to see like a sole purpose of a character versus now we're getting literally everything but that character. Like it feels like a bounty hunter themed thing or whatever, or like you guys are saying like the Tatooine or just something that does not specifically say a character's name. I don't know. I think it would have been a lot better.
True.
Because it ain't Boba Fett.
Yeah, I think like the other night I was saying I think the episode 3 metrics didn't come in well. And they probably cut some of the Mandalorian stuff and mixed it with this season of Book of Boba Fett to make up for it. Because some of the stuff doesn't make sense in the timelines. Or not, timelines, not throw that out. Doesn't make sense in the storytelling, the direction you're going.
I think it could have been better if they did it like an anthology, multiple stories of multiple characters within the season or something like that.
Yeah, like Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, but at the end credit scene that we got was with season 2 of The Mandalorian, with him taking the throne from Bib. You're like, and the title is given to you. You're like, oh, this is 100% going to focus on the story of Boba, how he got there. And yeah, we saw that, but then you're also seeing present time and past. So the past gives you the story of how he got there and what he's going to do going forward. But he hasn't done anything. He's had a few walk-ins to a bar. He's chased a guy in the street. He got thrown about from after taking a bath by a Wookiee. It's like, that's it.
Okay.
The show should be named like The Struggle of Mos Eisley, The Book of Boba Fett.
The Book of Boba Fett as a subtitle.
It's the subtitle, yeah.
Or maybe that's just the one of the episodes, like a few episodes will be called that. Book of Boba Fett, part 1, part 2, and then move on to a different character. So
yeah,
that would have been cool.
That could have been done. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's talk about something that I think was actually very well done. How about the look of Luke? Check this out. All right, so Jeff, was that not the best look for a de-aging process? I mean, that is one, at least for me anyway. I had a hard time even seeing or telling if that was an actor playing him or if that was just CGI. I think it was like almost seamless. What do you think?
The reface that they did on it, or CGI, however they did it, the technology, and the person who did it it's amazing work. I couldn't even tell that it was the actor that was in the TIE fighter or the X-Wing, the other show.
It was the same actor for that too?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He's the guy that they use for the model of it or whatever. But it is really good. His voice sounded good, but a little plain,
Okay.
Maybe that's the whole interaction though with him and Grogu. They're trying to get a bond, but I don't know. Yeah, it was good. It was really good.
Yep. Everybody agree with that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They
hired the deep fake guy.
Yeah, they did.
They hired him, so
I'm glad he's showing out.
Job. Yeah. But I think that the whole sequence with Luke was just to give you okay, we did a better job almost.
Yeah.
You know, like we heard what you said for Mandalorian season 2, the finale, and we kind of hired somebody to do a little bit better, and he's doing a stellar job. But you notice Luke didn't have a lot of movement and expression on his face like I'm doing right now, very exaggerated. Even though Mark doesn't speak that way, but it was very slow and paceful, so that way it wouldn't be too difficult to do. You know, they really.
True.
You know, I even saw somebody's review. Geez, I can't remember where they were rock stars, where they were talking about the lines where they used K's and B's and so forth were easier to digitally do on somebody's face instead of certain sounds that Luke would make. You know,
Yeah, I
as
saw
a
that.
real person. And I'm like, okay, that
Yeah.
kind of makes sense, but they still did a stellar job on it.
Did you see
Most of the
Joseph's comment?
dialogue being off screen.
Joseph.
Yeah.
The voice is AI generated. It seems like it doesn't fit. What's up, Joseph?
Yeah, it's real
You guys agree with that?
monotone,
Monotone.
no emotion.
I didn't even notice
I
that.
mean, he's supposed to be being a teacher at that role, so yeah, he can get away with it. You know.
Yeah,
I'm just happy that they're able to do it. I mean, look where we've come from.
I didn't
The way he
notice
was
that.
talking kind of reminded me like the scene from Return of the Jedi when he's talking to Leia in the Ewok village.
Very calm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really just kind of monotone.
Yeah.
So it fit. That's why I didn't notice it.
Right.
You know?
It
I
did
think
fit.
I thought it fit too.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
I did think that they spent a little too much time.
Let's see you jump. Really? That's all you got?
What do you guys think? Or let's go to this one at Eben. Do you think they spent too much time on the training of Grogu?
Yeah, they spent a lot of time on this. I think they took away from we already lost the main story last episode, but it could have been shorter. You know, there were some funny sequences in there when he blew up the training remote and he was, trying to play with the frogs.
Right.
But yeah, I think it was a little too much. They could have saved that for, the Mandalorian if that was the original plan.
True. I agree. What about you guys? Think they did. I've heard that some people felt like this was the greatest episode of Star Wars ever. I've seen that. So my questioning on that is this
How
part
old are
here.
you?
I felt like it doesn't fit at all. You guys agree?
It was good for the episode, but it's not good for Book of Boba Fett.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm holding to the overall narrative, and it's just,
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Maybe in Mando. This should have been Mando season 3.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with everybody on that one. I do want to give credit to the deepfake guy, man. If you can go from making YouTube videos to getting hired by Disney and Lucas,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
dude,
right.
that's
Yeah,
He's
right.
living the dream.
come true, man. Woo.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
crazy. In terms of the scene, I don't know. I don't think I mind it as much, probably because I'm a Luke fan and I enjoyed seeing him as a master, quote unquote, versus going through. And it was cool with the callbacks with him and Yoda, and obviously Grogu being like a baby Yoda. It could be debated that the scene was too long, just like the shipbuilding part, but it was more entertaining than the shipbuilding, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then I think it was last episode or whatever episode it
Yeah.
was when they built the ship. But yeah, I can see where people would say, is it the best scene in Star Wars or episode? I don't know about that, but it was great. It was a great episode. As a fan, I was very excited. I loved it. But in terms of Book of Boba, this did zero for me in that room.
I think maybe the feeling of the best episode of Star Wars and all that is coming back to somebody who's seen, let's say, the new trilogy, and you didn't get any training montage, you didn't get any Luke Skywalker being Luke Skywalker, educating and passing on what he has learned to others, and now you're finally seeing that. So I could see how maybe a diehard deep Luke fan would be like, this is the best thing. I didn't get this in 3 films,
Right.
but to me, it's still not the very best episode of the show because the show is titled The Book of Boba Fett. But even like that, if you just claim all of Star Wars, I'd rather see some Mandalorian action. I did like the previous episode's beginning, more than this episode's beginning. I appreciated seeing Luke and R2 and the building, the construction of the first school or the temple or whatever they're going to call it. But I think it was way too long. Way too long. It took what was it, like maybe over 33% or 40% of the episode.
Right.
Of just on Luke.
Okay. So you're saying that you think that maybe this was done to appease the fans that were upset with what happened in the sequel trilogy, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think they maybe Filoni and John are like, here, we're gonna give you a biscuit. Everything that you didn't get in the tease that we gave you at the end of season 2 of Mandalorian, where everybody was, oh my God, Luke Skywalker's here. Does he know Ahsoka? Have they met? We get these answers. Will he train Baby Yoda? What does that training look like? And you're seeing him, and he's teaching him what he has been taught. He's got the droid. He's even given Yoda lines. So,
what do you think of the ultimatum that Luke has given him at the end? We'll give this one to Frankie. Is this to me seems very Sith-like, right? He's dealing in absolutes. You could choose this one, or you could choose that one, but you can't choose both.
I mean, obviously, this is furthering the narrative of the Mandalorian, so it's going to be the chainmail.
So you think that everybody think the chainmail? Anybody think he's going to pick the lightsaber?
Nah.
Yeah, chainmail.
Chainmail.
He's like, I'll take the chainmail, and then later on, I'll take that damn dark saber from you.
Probably.
I got them both.
I think some event's going to happen where he's going to want to go and like Mandalorian's in trouble or something, so he's going to want to go help him. But maybe then he'll revert back to the Jedi. I don't know. We'll see.
Let's say what's up to Marcel, who's jumping into the chat. What's going on, dude? We got Seth in the chat as well. What's up, bro?
I mean, I feel
Seth's
like all
here
of
to see
this
some talk about Cad Bane. We'll get to that.
is edible filler. So, like, what Ralph was saying, they're trying to, you didn't get what you wanted with these original characters, so we're going to, feed them in here a little bit. And that is not going to make up for 3 movies. You need to give me another 3 movies with those characters to do it right.
I saw
These
a meme
little
for this scene.
snippets ain't doing it for me.
I saw a meme for this scene where you see Luke giving the question, which one do you want? And then Baby Yoda's like, dealing in absolutes, you're a Sith, and he grabs the lightsaber. So I know what to do here. I felt like this was kind of weird for a Jedi, Like, I understand that the chainmail represents attachment, but I mean, he can't exactly get off the planet, right? I'm like, how is he gonna take the chainmail and leave, or is Luke gonna now fly him back to where he needs to go? So,
good question.
All right. So they also had a flashback scene. This is a little bit of it right here. Do you guys? I thought it was cool, but I felt like there was. It was just kind of like didn't really show anything, in my opinion. You guys agree that way?
Yeah.
There wasn't really much that it showed. Who do you think saved Baby Yoda, Josh?
I think Jocasta knew.
Jocasta?
Yeah, and that's just based off of like random thumbnails and videos that I've watched. I don't know. I think they just gave us that scene just to put it in canon that he was there during Order 66 at the temple type of thing.
Yeah.
There's probably, I wouldn't even call it fan service. I think it would just be furthering the story or giving more info and what we all speculated. But I don't know, man. I mean, at this point with this show and how everything's going, we don't even know what to expect. Even if we read the script, it'll still probably be different when we see it on screen. So who knows? But I would say her.
Guys,
I thought it was cool. We saw some live action clone troopers, though. I think that was the first time they were like an actual costume. There were CGI before.
There was CGI all the way through Revenge of the Sith?
And the prequels that were CGI'd, I thought.
Completely?
Mm-mm.
I don't think they were completely like that.
Yeah, because there's no references for them in live action. Yeah, Gabe and I were trying to look this up previously.
Really? That's an interesting tidbit. I always thought at least there was one guy dressed in the suit. So, didn't know that one.
The more you know.
Now, that's cool. I'm calling this episode the Book of Cameos. It's insane how many new people were showing up, or not new people, but people that have been on the show already. So here's another one. We got Ahsoka. All right, I got you. 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 All right, I got
didn't expect to see you here.
I'm an old friend of the family.
Loved it.
The source of my favorite new meme.
What was that? Why?
Because they replaced Ahsoka with Boba Fett. I didn't expect to see you here.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. I got to catch some of these memes. Some of them are pretty funny. I liked seeing Ahsoka. Do you think there was any reason to have her in this story, like is other than just her being there, Eben?
I think it was more like what Ralph saw.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Evan. Sorry. Go do it.
Yeah, that's cool.
No,
I was like, oh, my name just popped up. I was over
I
here
know.
like, looking at comments.
Teacher's calling you.
What was it again? I'm sorry, man. I
Do you think there was any reason to
work.
have Ahsoka in the story other than just for if there was any point of having her there, even though it was nice to see her?
There was like no point. You know, it was nice to see her there. It was nice seeing her talking with Luke and talking, giving an Anakin dad joke or comment.
Yeah.
So it gave you that connection between Ode and you, which, Luke never really had that in between. So it was cool. Was it needed? Nah. I think it was just more fluff.
Right.
More cameo service.
There's a lot of cameos, man. It's crazy. You guys agree with all that?
I agree with that.
100%.
Yeah.
Say what's up to Viper.
What's up, Vicky?
Joining us. Thank you. Appreciate
Take
it.
a look at Joseph's comment he just dropped in there.
Yeah.
What did Joseph? You guys can help pop him up. That's great. I
So
appreciate
the
it.
pamphlet that comes with the clone trooper helmet from EFX states that there was never a physical version, only CGI.
Wow. Okay. So that's what it was.
Thanks, Joseph.
Joseph, our fact checker.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that was great with that.
He keeps us straight,
When it
man.
comes to props, he has it all. He has all the answers when it comes to props. All right. So one of the cameos that did happen that I was very happy to see was the return of Cobb Vanth. That's played by Timothy Oliphant. Oliphant. I hope I'm saying that right.
I like that dude's acting, man.
I love it.
He's awesome.
His acting is
Great.
awesome. Like the eye movements and stuff, they
Yes.
were like on point, man.
They were. Check out the scene. I got a clip from it. This is actually one of my favorite parts that when he came in, because he was at the very beginning of the show, but but then he also had this one spot here, which I thought his the way he delivers his lines, I think is great.
He's new. Still a bit jumpy. Is that a Naboo starfighter?
That's what it started off as. Haven't seen you since you gave up your armor. How have you been?
More careful. Where's the little guy?
Back with his own folk.
That's too bad. I guess we both lost something we were fond of.
Yeah, I love that how he's talking about the dude, and then he's all like, "Is that a Naboo starfighter?" Just like matter of factly puts that in, right? And he's so smooth, man. That guy's cool. What'd you guys think of his performance? Jeff, we'll go with you, man. What'd you think of the performance of this character, and obviously what happened to him later? You think he survived? What's up with that?
I definitely think he survived. Actually, I shared a shot of him getting shot, and it's only in his shoulder.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I love his acting. I've been a big fan of his all through all the westerns that he's been in. He's perfect actor for it, and he knows how to assimilate the western kind of look and swagger, and he's done an awesome job as Cobb Vanth, and I hope he returns for the last episode to help with the fighting the Pikes.
Yep. Joseph's
Dude.
bringing up Justified. Absolutely great
Love
show.
to have seen him in
Yeah.
like in a
Justified.
western with Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
That would
Well,
have
we
been
kind of
awesome.
got that here, right? A little bit.
Yeah.
I wonder if Cobb Vanth
Good
becomes
point.
Valance.
Yeah.
He's going to become a cyborg.
Oh, maybe that. Yeah.
Yeah, Ahmad.
Yeah.
Oh, not about.
Yeah,
Does he get his own speeder bike?
Hopefully he gets a better speeder bike than that. Don't give him that colorful thing.
well, he had that huge pod racer.
That's
slash.
right.
Yeah.
He did. That was dope.
Yeah, that thing was sweet looking.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So
Hey, Rogue.
what's up, Rogue? How you doing, man? Yeah, awesome character. I really like the whole conversation. Do you think that he would have gotten the town to stand behind and help Boba Fett had the next scene not come about? Think you're able to pull that together?
It don't seem like it.
Yeah, at the end, after he got shot, I don't know what the alien is, the bartender, he was super pissed. You could tell he was super furious.
Yeah.
So they're definitely going to help him.
So maybe like a martyr now. Maybe that was the purpose of having him there, right?
Yep.
To bring the townfolk together.
Yeah, so I can see that coming up, you know, why we got the next character kind of furthering the story along, right? That's how we're going to build you up.
All right. Well,
I'd agree with that.
Go ahead.
I was just saying I'd agree with that.
Okay.
How it's going to play out.
That's going to bring us to what is the best cameo of this episode.
Hell yeah.
Right. So here we go. This is a little clip that I put together. Here we go. So we can get the feels. All right.
Yes.
Here we go.
Careful where I will.
Wrong one. That's the wrong one.
Wow, really?
Get inside. And who might you be?
Whatever Fett is paying you, we'll match. And all you've got to do is stay put and let things play out.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
I'd be careful where I was sticking my nose if I were you.
Wow.
That gave me chills when I saw it. It was awesome bringing this guy on the show, Cad Bane. You know, Josh, we'll go with you on this. How did you feel when you saw him come on screen, bro?
It was great, man. I think it's one of the best character introductions I've seen for almost anything. I think it was perfectly played out. It was nice to see or hear the OG voice actor do it again. Because I'm a huge Clone Wars fan. I love that series so much. And there's really not much to say other than it was just awesome, man. To finally see it live action and to see a little bit of practical mixed with CGI, I'm assuming, on his face. I think he looked good. I think you said something about the hat, the bigger hat.
Yeah, I will talk about that in the next. I got a question about that next, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, outside of that's picking fly shit out of pepper is what I say, you know? If we had to get down to the nitty gritty, that would be one thing, but the scene was great, man. It was menacing. We still didn't technically hear his name, or he didn't say his name, you know? So I think that's cool that he's still, to not the fans, he's still, like it said in the subtitles, a stranger. No one knows who he is yet. He obviously knows of Fett. You know, we got the reference of him working with the Empire again. I don't know, man. It was just really cool. I love it, but it's just this is not Boba Fett stuff. In a way, I know we kind of talked about Boba Fett in that scene, but it just sucks to have all these good moments and none of them have Boba Fett in them.
Yeah,
this show. But I mean, I did like it, dude. I'm sure we all loved it. Or at least I hope we all loved it. But yeah, it was great, man. Can't complain at all.
Anybody else
How far did he walk?
Right, that was my one weird thing when I saw him walking.
Where did he park the car?
I love that thing you put in the chat today, where they have a cowboy walking through the desert, and this is the scene of him walking. It's crazy, right? Where was what was it? His
Toto.
What is Toto? That's the name. Oh, I was thinking about that. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Toto. I'd like to see if he comes back.
Probably blew it up again.
Maybe. Yeah. I love the whole Western vibes of that episode, right? The only thing missing was a tumbleweed rolling down the thing, and you know,
it was badass.
It was pretty badass. You know, and watching it over again, I was less opinionative about the look of Cad Bane. seeing it again today, even though I have some comments to make about his look in it. So that is coming still. But yeah, like watching it there, you know, and the hat and all that. Yeah, he looked very Clint Eastwood when you see that. It's pretty awesome.
Like he looked like Lee Van Cleef from the movies,
Yeah,
the old Western movies.
Yeah, there
That's
you
who
go.
he's based off of. But you know, the brim and the hat and all that. But he looked really good.
Yeah, I thought it was badass.
Cad Skywalker.
Yeah, I thought it was badass because of a few years ago, you know, like my daughter was little when I was watching this with her. I would never thought to see this in the Star Wars universe, in live action Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Right.
And we got it. So I was like, man, that's freaking dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, his entrance was very well done.
Hell yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
perfect, you know, just like it needed to be.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of people that never watched the cartoon, so they're like, who the hell is this?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to introduce them.
Right.
Mhm.
which it pulled it off because like my wife, she's got no idea who he is, but she was watching it. She's like, okay, he looks evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and
he
she,
does.
I mean, she liked the character. And then, like, I knew, you know, if they were going to bring him in, obviously he's going to look a little different. But I was more worried about how he was going to talk because that's a very distinctive,
Correct.
how he speaks. And then when they use the same guy, I was like, that's so badass.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is pretty cool.
Like, I even got goosebumps right now, man, because that scene was just so badass.
It is,
It's
man.
awesome.
And awesome that Filoni would, you know, Filoni's gonna be able to do that. Same way he got
Right.
Bo-Katan back. So just to give that I think tied it in more. The voice was going to be the most important thing on that. I do have some issues with the look. So
agree.
I don't know if I'm the only one here in the panel. I know I'm almost by myself with this in the chats because I feel like I got badgered about this all week long. And, you know, people were like, I hate Star Wars fans because of, you know, because they're so critical, you know, which I think is some BS. Is because all fans are critical. Marvel fans, DC fans, you know, so when I see that it's only Star Wars fans that do it, I'm like, yo, DC fans we're talking shit about Gal Gadot's breasts because they were too small when she was playing Wonder Woman. And the fact that Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. I see that all the time. So, you know. Telling me that I got an opinion about the look of Boba Fett is just ridiculous.
We're all passionate about our fandom.
Right.
So.
Right.
So
if we're critical about something, the hell with you. Look at the shit that's behind us.
Yeah. So here we go. So Cad Bane is a Duro, right? So it's a species, and this is the established look of what they look like. So they don't necessarily need to be a dark blue, but the thing that bugs me the most about his look is the position of the mouth. And I know they were going with the practical look for it so that he can talk. I guess maybe easier for CGI editing and everything.
Yeah.
But you know, this is how they're supposed to look, and I feel like the appearance of Cad Bane is a little less menacing because the mouth is not in the right position. And I'm just going to show you this clip that accidentally I hit on earlier. But check this out.
Careful where I was sticking my nose if I were you.
Is that friendly advice or a threat?
So I know it's subtle, you know, but
it had to be because
Bring it down a notch.
a human face,
right?
You know.
Yeah.
So do you guys agree with that as far as like not necessarily, I mean, yeah, like just like what I'm saying. Do you guys agree with that the adjusted one looks a little bit better and and I guess it ties in better in my opinion than the adjusted look? Or are you just fine with it and you're cool with the way it looks, the way they came out with? Ralph.
I personally think that anybody who is not a Star Wars fan or just a haphazard fan is okay with it. Many of us are okay with it. For those of us who watch the Clone Wars, because I still have friends that watch the Book of Boba Fett and anything on Disney Plus, but will not watch the animated series. And I'm like, you're doing a disservice to yourself. Those of us who have seen that are kind of like, it doesn't look like him, something's off. And it's the mouth just being a little bit too high. And to me, I felt the cheeks were a little bit too chunky, like I have. You know, they needed to be a little bit more thin. And like you said, the brim of the hat. Maybe he got a new hat, but you can't get a new face. You know, that you can't. But I get it because I still have the same critique about Rosario. Did they miss the entire Rebels look that Rosario, that Ahsoka had, where her mandibles came down longer? So did they shrink back up? I don't get it, but we're gonna have to live with it. And I think we should be happy that we got it. But yeah, I could see those of us who are really diehard, I need more Star Wars, are gonna maybe critique that. Kind of like I still critique when they added the line for Darth Vader in the special edition, bring me my ship when he's leaving Bespin. It was an unnecessary line, and he does not sound like James Earl Jones did 20 to 30 years prior when he did the first.
Yeah.
It's just unnecessary. You could tell the difference, and that's just sound. So, but visually, you can't get rid of that.
Okay. Craig is saying that the practical mount that they used for the editing emotes better. So I'm guessing what he's trying to say is it delivers emotion better.
Yeah.
Cad Bane is not somebody that delivers motion, even in the animated series. He's more of just like very
smooth,
dry, smooth.
It's all business.
It's all business. Yeah.
I'm not gonna get mad. It's all business. I'm just here to do my job.
So.
Don't get me wrong. I'm so happy this character is in there, and I have high hopes that hopefully he gets his own show. That he doesn't have cameos in it. He's a lead actor, But that being the case, I just think it could have been slightly tweaked, kind of like what they did with Luke at the season 2 finale and the current episode that we're looking at. They made a few adjustments, and we're seeing that. And maybe they'll do that later on with Cad, but he looked great, dude. His entrance was spot on. That's who Cad Bane is.
Surprised me was I love that character's voice, and I didn't realize the same guy did the most annoying voice in Star Wars.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
He did Zero's voice also?
Yeah, he did Zero's voice too.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He's done so many voices. He was Sunstreaker in Transformers. He was Shockwave in Transformers, the animated series. I mean, he's had a long career.
So the chat is, I've seen Scott agrees with me. He likes the adjusted look better, the original animated. Some, like like Craig, like the new CGI way better. That guy Mark likes it like that. Sean didn't mind the look, the change. That's fine.
If it was more of the Clone Wars, that'd be great. Even more so.
Yeah.
But how it looked, it didn't take anything away from me looking at him, and
no, it didn't.
That's not Cad Bane. I think
the performance.
It was there.
Yeah.
So that made me overlook it. The biggest thing was, I would have liked the hat to be bigger.
But the person who was acting as Cad, that person did a great job. Not just the voice, but that guy portrayed Cad physically, and he got it down to pat. Even when you can't see his eyes and you only see his teeth, and I'm like, man, this is really good. The cameraman got it right, the director got it right, and the performer got it right.
And his eyes were freaking awesome.
And you can't. They don't have pupils,
right? So you can't tell what he's looking
what
at.
He's looking at, yeah.
Right, yeah. But you can tell he's keeping an eye on everything. So when the guy's trying to come in from the side, it's like he's aware of everything that's going on.
Yeah, because you see the marshal looking at the deputy, and you're like, oh, you're gonna get shot, dude. But Cad was already looking at who do I shoot first, who do I shoot 3 times after.
Sky Guy said the hat was smaller in Bad Batch.
It was. I went back to look at that too. Yeah, it was like when I commented on the hat in the reaction, immediately somebody chimed in. He got the hat because of Bad Batch. I'm like, yeah, I know that.
Got a different hat.
Aware of that.
I actually checked on how old Cad Bane is. He's 71 years old.
Yeah.
So I don't know the lifespan of a Duros.
Yeah, what's the
he's going to be a fearsome opponent.
I heard that the Duros have they age faster, I think, than we do. If I'm not correct. So in his ages, we'd be closer to 100 or something like that, even though he's been that long. All right. What do you guys? Okay, so for those of you guys who don't know the history of Cad Bane, or some of the history of it, Cad Bane fought Boba Fett. And he's the one that gave the dent in the helmet, and Boba Fett also gave him an injury to his head as well. And he has now a metal patch on his head. So I'm hoping for a rematch on the next episode. we'll go with Eben. What do you think is going to happen there with those two? Like, how is that going to play out, you think?
Make sure I wasn't on mute. No, I think they're gonna, if it's following some of the canon, they'll probably go after each other. Boba Fett and Cad Bane are probably gonna have this epic fight. Hopefully that happens. I see them probably not going that route. Probably Cad Bane is going to be more of a, I don't know, the hitman, probably taking everybody out, and Boba Fett's probably going to be hiding in his palace. I don't know.
Sounds like season finale to me.
You think he'll kill Cad Bane? Think they'll kill him off in the next episode?
I don't think so.
No.
Oops,
I mean, I would hope no. I would hope not. I mean, it would be more of a disservice to do that than it's been a disservice to not give us Boba Fett, in my opinion.
True.
Yeah,
this is a great introduction to a character. So hopefully they don't do that.
True. All right. Among other things that happened in this episode, let's give a moment of silence for Jennifer Beals' character. You know, so sad to see her go. They blew up the cantina.
Yeah.
But did
Max
you guys
Rebo.
notice? Did you guys notice that Max Rebo wasn't there?
Yes.
Yeah.
He wasn't there.
Yeah.
The drum was being played by a droid in this scene. So
That dude's shady, man.
yeah, that's what my next question is. Do you guys think he's the mastermind behind it all? Maybe
Hell
he's
yeah. It's him and
real
Jar
man.
Jar.
Yeah.
Darth
He's
Vader.
a Sith. Max Rebo is a Sith Lord.
Yeah, see?
The Force is strong with Max Rebo.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty neat. It's like I was looking at it and I was like, man, wait a minute. I was like, he's not there. I'm like, what? So
Moral of the story: if music's playing and Max ain't there, get the hell out.
right? That should have been the first clue. And he walked in. Where's Max at? He took the day off. All right, I'm gonna go home.
For sure.
Flash dance or flash bomb.
Oh man.
All
right.
Oh, poor Jennifer.
Anybody, what do you guys think? What are you guys hoping for on the next episode?
It
2
doesn't
hours?
matter to me because nothing they do in one episode is going to make up for this mess.
I agree.
All right.
And it sucks because my favorite character is so excited about it. Everything that the director was saying that this show was going to be, saw none of it.
Because Rodriguez is doing this episode, right?
Yeah.
Rodriguez. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And he was talking about how much more violent Boba Fett was going to be. And I mean, the only violence I saw was a bad dream he was having in the back to tank. It just didn't do nothing for me.
That's very true.
I hope this episode is 2 hours long.
Yeah.
Well, that would
That's
be wonderful.
That's what Sai was saying.
Maybe
was like,
then.
are we going to get a longer episode for the finale? Because, we have so much to cover. I think they'll probably leave us hanging, to give us the cliffhanger and so forth. We'll get some good money scenes and things that maybe we want to see, either Mando fighting Cad or chasing Cad or something like that, which would be badass. But or who's Black Wookiee going to fight with, or maybe he switches allegiances. I don't know. But that being the case, I mean, I think they're going to give us something, but they're going to definitely leave us hanging.
Michelle brings up a point that I messed up on that. He was always the keyboard guy. That's a good point. He wasn't the drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still didn't see him in the scene though.
He wasn't in there.
He wasn't
in
Yeah.
there.
It went over that droid like you had in the screenshot there.
Yeah, they purposefully showed you Max is still alive.
Yeah. So if you don't see him, he's still alive. He's gonna
This
appear at the
series
end.
has made me afraid for the rest of the shows that they got planned to come out, especially
Exactly.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that's my thing.
the
man.
one I'm really scared about, Obi-Wan, because that's Anakin and Obi-Wan. It's like, I don't know, man. Leave it alone. Don't even think about showing me where Grogu comes from. I don't want to know what the planet of Yodas are, what their species look like, their civilization. I do not want to know. Leave it like that.
And she's a good director too. Her episodes, Deborah Chow, the episodes that she directed were great.
Bryce's episode was great too.
Yep.
Yeah. Again, but
And so was Rodriguez
Boba Fett in that
when
one.
he did Boba Fett. And that was good too. And it's like, damn it, man.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a
Put their hand in there
40-minute
and screwed this
episode.
up.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like a 40-minute episode leading up to the battle, and then it's going to be a cliffhanger to be continued on The Mandalorian.
I hope that
there's got to be a cliffhanger, right?
Yeah.
So what's the cliffhanger?
Because it's a crossover event. You know, all they're doing is building up to whatever's coming next. They can't tell the story in 48 minutes.
Yeah, and to be honest, man, I don't even know if I'd want a longer episode. Just because it's longer doesn't mean it's going to be any better.
Prolonging the pain.
Yeah, I mean, look at the shipbuilding scene and the Luke and Grogu training scene, man.
It was
just
too long.
It's like if they give us an hour and a half and we get 45 minutes of that, like, is that even going to? It's not going to make anything better.
Yeah.
It's just going to waste more time.
Just him talking to soldiers, getting ready, and okay, this is what we're going to do, and planning, and you're like, no, I want to see the fight.
Yeah, just a quick delivery and then get to it. Quick delivery, get to it. It doesn't need to be so dragged out. But yeah, I thought the same thing, man. Like, I'm afraid for Obi-Wan. I'm afraid for anything else that they do now, because obviously Mando, it was like, give us Disney Plus, give us more Disney series, and then Boba comes out, and now we're like, you know what? Just hold back on that. Don't do too much, or don't do too much with characters we already have established in our Star Wars life, or you know what I'm saying? Like, give us something like Mandalorian where it's a new character, so we don't have such high expectations.
I think Josh is on the money with that, and they could have shown us what we have seen with, let's say, the first 2 episodes of Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett, where we saw him come out from the Sarlacc, where we saw him have a life, maybe as flashbacks and little clips of that scattered throughout other series of The Mandalorian. Well, this is what happened to me. I lived with the Tuskens, and voila, you get that lifespan. But you made a whole 7 episodes, 8 episode series, and you've literally given me 4, and 2 have been about Mandalorian. It's like, come on. We were kind of gypped, and then you had crap like the modders in there. Not that the modders themselves were bad, but the chase scene, which was running at 20 miles per hour, down the streets. It's like, why is it so slow? Aren't these? I mean, are these Vespas compared to speeder bikes? But I don't know.
Yeah, I think I even said this the first week I was on, George, but I think, in my opinion, it would have been a great fan service to announce the series, and then like the day before or the week before, give us all the flashbacks and like a special episode, like episode 0, and then give us all that in like a 50-minute episode, get it all out of the way, and then start the series at like episode 4, like when he comes out of the back of the tank, and they're like, oh, you're fully healed. Like, that should have been like one of the opening scenes of the first episode, and then we have 7 episodes to do all this. Throw a Mando episode in there as like a mid-season thing, like I thought they were going to do, and then continue on with the story and build it up and make it better. But I mean, I just think that would have been a better way to handle it, man, because we didn't need 3 episodes of flashbacks, with 15 minutes of current time that did not build the story at all. And then to get 2 episodes, probably, let's be honest, 3 episodes of Mando. Next week has to be Mando. I mean,
Mando has to be in it.
There's no way that's not going to happen at this point with him flying off, which I'm assuming he's going back to Boba because to let him know about Cobb, and he's saying he's going to think about it or something, because I don't see where else Mando would go. Right. Because I don't think he really knows anybody that could be like foot soldiers or whatever you want to call them. So,
well, he already went back. He already went back to him.
Did he? Was that?
Yeah. So remember he went there. He asked for the help, and then he flew back, and that's when you see him. That's when Fennec introduced him that this is Din Djarin.
Well, no, the Cobb Vanth scene happens after that part. So, like, I think what Josh is talking about is
that's right. That's right. Never mind. Yeah.
The only other people I could see him possibly recruiting is some Tuskens, because he knew some. But
I still think she's going to come back.
I mean, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
if she survived.
She does. Yeah.
Or the Jawas.
The Jawas.
You know what?
And then that doesn't make any sense if she doesn't, right?
What was up with that scene?
They gave her no recognition that she died.
Yeah, George. No,
that was the way the
series was going, man. With the way the series was going, I thought he was going to recruit Jawas.
Yeah, right.
When they spent so much time, I was like, there's no shot they are going to make Jawas fight all of a sudden. But I was like, you know what? With the way the series is going, I'd be okay with it at this point.
They'll be the new Ewoks.
Hey,
I was going to say, the Rebel Alliance got Ewoks, right?
Yeah, they'll be the new Ewoks.
That Sandcrawler's a tank, bro. It's hard to take that thing down.
Yeah, on top of it was the crate
dragon head. Yeah, how the hell did they get that up there?
How did they get it up there?
Who knows?
Who cares? It was awesome.
It was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool scene though. Yeah. Yes, that's the only thing I could think of is Tuscans. But yeah, I agree with you, Josh. I don't know how they're gonna be able to pull off this next episode and then make it all work. Because I want to see a fight with a Black Chrysanthemum, doing his thing. Obviously, we're gonna get some focus on Mandalorian fighting something there, but there's no like main bad guy that he's gonna fight. The only thing, Cad Bane. See, I want to see the Cad Bane and Boba Fett fight. But what I'm afraid is going to happen is that Boba Fett's going to be taken down by Cad Bane, and then Mandalorian's going to have to help him fight Cad Bane. Or like there's supposed to be a cameo of Han Solo in this. Is a rumor. And I said this on Evan's show. If Han is the one that saves Boba Fett, I'm probably gonna have a lot to say in the reaction.
Yeah. Yes.
So
I'll have to buy new monitors.
Yeah.
I think Joseph was saying last night on Collection Wars,
Right, Ralph?
that Harrison Ford is in the IMDb credits listed for his episode 7.
Oh, damn.
So I don't know how they're gonna pull that.
At this point, do we want to see another character?
Yeah.
Like, do we even right now, as this series stands, do we even want them to introduce another character that we've known?
No, no.
Look, I don't even want them to introduce Dengar. I don't even want them to introduce Dengar or Bosk. Don't even bring those boys in. Leave them alone.
Yeah, it's too late.
It's way too late.
Yeah, they lost that opportunity.
You better not even bring me Solo, man.
You're gonna have the chick from the Mos Eisley spaceport, and every time somebody pops in, hey guys, it's Bosk.
What do you guys think Solo would do next episode? Because I guess if he's credited, I don't know really how that works. But if he is in there, whatever, what is that even bringing to the story? What do you guys see that playing?
He's in a hairy situation, or Boba Fett's in a hairy situation, has to get out of it. And since he didn't use his jetpack the last time, Han will hit it again and get him out of that sticky situation.
That's how you use your jetpack.
And then end credits.
I have a bad feeling that they're gonna make it a tie-in to the sequel trilogy. That it's gonna be, because they already showed Luke building the academy, right? Yep. And he mentions or Ahsoka mentions in this one that Grogu is his first student. But in the Last Jedi, Luke says his first student was Kylo Ren.
I don't think Grogu's going to stay with him. He's obviously going to go to the Mandalorian. It sells the show more, it sells Disney Plus more, because him being trained and then okay, did he get killed? Did Kylo save him before, or who took him out? And this is going to be the second time the little guy has to get saved, because he had to get saved, by somebody in the past that he's given flashbacks, and now he's got to get saved again because Kylo and Snoke are coming. But that being the case, I do think that's the way they're going to go. But I really hope they do not bring in Solo. And which Solo are we getting? Are we getting Harrison? Or
have to be Harrison, I think.
Because I wasn't.
You guys agree with that?
The other guy, but I seen a deep fake of the other guy as Solo.
As Solo, yeah.
It looked really good.
Well,
there's
the
a deep
same
fake
guy
of the other
did
guy
that.
as Solo.
Yeah, the same guy that did Luke did the Solo one as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looked really good too.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. We all know the expanded universe. We all have seen it. We read it. The books, the novels, and we saw how there was a piece between Boba and Solo in the far future. But man, let's rescue Boba.
There's nothing to tie him to helping Boba Fett out, though, because the last time they met, he was trying to get him killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe Boba has a point of view of hey man, that was just business. I was just there to do my job. Just like it was in The New Hope, he was just walking behind Jabba and he was just muscle. He's like, hey man, I'm just here to do my job. I'm here to get credits,
Mm-hmm.
Like his dad said. What was it that Django said? I'm just a bounty hunter, making my way through the galaxy.
Right.
That may be Boba's line, I'm just doing my job, buddy. So True. No hard feelings, but I don't want it.
That was Luke's daycare that they were building.
The daycare.
That's funny.
I think Han won't be anywhere in this episode until the after credits.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Like the end credit scenes.
Yeah, the end credit scenes. That's why I think it's going to be a tie-in. Go ahead, Eben.
No, I was just trying to think, out loud. I don't see how they can use Solo in this in Tatooine. Like, what is he doing in
Yeah.
Tatooine? There's nothing for him there.
Yeah, just makes zero sense to throw him in there.
Picking up spice.
Is the Spice Runner
Spice
again?
Hey,
Runner?
that could be what it is. He's picking up spice from the Pikes.
That'd
So
be
you
cool.
might be like a little cameo thing. He's in a spaceport or something.
Right.
Yeah, true. I don't know that I would want that either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because now he's a Spice Runner again, or something. You know.
Well,
Yeah,
he goes
and
back
all
to
that.
that, don't he? Isn't he like a bad dad? He like bails on his kid.
Right.
So
We
Yeah,
get a
and
cameo
that's
of Ben. That's what we get. We get a cameo of baby Ben in there.
yeah,
Yeah, a little
And Marcel
4-year-old
brings up
Ben.
a point too. Like, what were all the flashbacks with young Boba Fett? You know, what's the point of all that?
yeah, that made no sense. That made no
That's silly.
sense. We're probably gonna have to do like a recap of like the whole show as a whole when we get to that.
Honestly, it was probably like a Disney thing, just showing like a kid being sad that his dad's leaving.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
because it was like every time it showed, it was like the emotional like reflection off the glass, looking out a rainy window as your dad flies away, knowing that he's up to no good.
Right.
And that was literally all we saw.
It would have been cool if they would have showed like a teenage version, a little bit older than the kid, doing some criminal activity.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Like he
Showing
did in
how he
Clone
how he
Wars.
became what he became. That would have been dope, actually.
Was a little Asort. What's her name? Singh. The girl was a little.
Aura
antenna?
Singh.
Aura Singh
Aura Singh,
cameo
yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
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 Michelle.
Max Rebo was a spy for Crimson Dawn.
Hilarious.
Man, I
That's
wish we
good.
would have saw Crimson in this.
Me too, man. Me too.
Are we
So
gonna get Crimson? You think in the final episode?
I don't think so.
I don't know, man.
No, they seem to stick with the Pikes as the main
Yeah.
thing going on here,
Antagonist.
especially bringing Cad Bane in and him saying, you know, that about the Syndicate.
Yeah.
So the Pikes call themselves the Syndicate, or is that just how the universe calls the Pikes as the Syndicate?
I think they're like the Pike Syndicate, the Hut.
Okay, so it's called the
Syndicate.
Pike Syndicate type
Yeah.
thing? Okay. Because with them just saying the Syndicate the entire time and not specifically saying something, I was just curious that maybe it will be Crimson Dawn. For
Like
some
they're all
weird
underneath
reason.
an umbrella that is like Crimson Dawn is the hierarchy.
I don't know.
That could be. I mean, it could be, and that could be a tie-in maybe to a which I'm hoping it isn't going to happen now. From this is a solo TV show, you know, where you have him and then you have the whole thing that happened, his connection with Kira. Because I heard that she's supposed to be coming back somehow.
Yeah,
I would have
right?
loved to see a Crimson Dawn series. Like
Yeah.
I'm with you, George. Maybe not now, but like 8 weeks
Like
ago,
a good
yeah,
crime
absolutely.
series type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I like Solo. It wasn't a terrible
too.
movie. It
No,
was a
I did
movie-
too.
It wasn't a movie I didn't think that I wanted to see. Because when they first announced it, I'm like, Han Solo is great, but I don't know if I need to waste an entire movie on seeing Solo and all this stuff. And I didn't like how he got his name or whatever. But like towards the end, like the second half of the movie, I was like, damn, this is actually really good. And then the ending, obviously, was seeing Maul and Kira. I was like, I want to see more of that side of the universe. Like, because she was kind of like, I don't know, she's kind of a badass towards the end.
Yeah.
It was like a little flip flop here and there, and I was just like, whoa. So
I mean, I
I'd love to see
appreciated
that.
Lando. You
I
know,
think that
Childish
saved it.
Gambino coming in there and killing the role. I mean, he killed. He was just like Billy D. And to me, that was the better part. The Kessel Run was disappointing to me, but now we're jumping into Solo. But
Yeah, my bad.
you know, no,
That's good. I
Solo
love that
dope.
movie.
And
You didn't like the
starting
Kessel Run, man? I love the
second hour,
Kessel
we're
Run.
We're gonna go through into
Hell
Solo.
yeah.
You know,
I felt like the Kessel Run was like super exciting for me. Like you
Yeah,
had the,
I
Really?
liked it. I like Lando, and I liked it. I think Ron Howard helped save that movie too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think Lando was amazing, and I even like the little thing of the robot or the droid that Lando had. That
Yeah.
they had a plug into the supercomputer or whatever into the Millennium Falcon, and then you kind of go back and you hear C-3PO saying, "Hey, the Millennium Falcon has a peculiar dialect or something like that," you know. And now you kind of, where did it come from? It came from Solo. They did some good things. I wasn't a big fan of it, but they did some good things.
Which then adds like when you watch The Empire Strikes Back and you hear the Falcon always messing up and you hear those little
Yeah.
noises and stuff, it makes
Yeah.
it makes it cool to watch that
Yeah.
again, and then
Yeah.
you got something else to add to it now.
Yeah,
yeah.
she's still in there.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
I think they did good with those one-off movies about, to me, because I grew up a prequel guy because of my age. Like I watched the original trilogy, but my Star Wars is prequels. Like that's what I saw in theaters. But now that I appreciate all of Star Wars, I like Rogue One. I think made A New Hope a lot better for me. in person, because from going to the end of Rogue One and then instantly starting A New Hope, you kind of see why they're so afraid of Vader now, because of what they just whatever. And then Solo, like you said, with Empire and the Falcon, like I think it gives so much more to those movies. Like it's almost like a breath of fresh air in a way, because you can go and watch that same exact movie. They didn't change anything for that, but in your mind, you start tying in things. You're like, wow, like okay, like that makes sense. That's cool. So I really like what they've done with those for sure.
Rogue One was a stellar movie. I think it was one of the best ones that they have out there from the new. Well, the new trilogy doesn't even count, but whatever they did new, Rogue One is got to be up there. It's one of the best movies that Disney has done.
I would love for them to, because Rogue One got like reshot and they took out a lot of scenes, right? Like the war scenes they did. Dude, I'd love for them to release that.
Director's cut
or something. Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Something to where it was like more, I don't know, more intense. Which I'm sure they toned it down a lot. But like when they marketed it, but when it was marketed as like a Saving Private Ryan Star Wars film, like. Because a lot of the shots in the trailer weren't even in the movie. Then some of the trailer shots were incredible. So,
and I got super excited watching it when it got some of the tie-ins to A New Hope. When they're called like Gold Leader coming in,
Red Leader, Gold Leader.
I thought that was all great.
That was like,
and it was the same guys, and you're like, yo,
Oh, even
and then when you know that some of the Blue Squadron, the background story on that. Not a lot of people get what that part is, but those of us, more deep in the lore, understanding when they're making movies and stuff like that. I love seeing Blue Squadron in there.
Yeah, it was very cool. So sorry to derail off of Boba, but I just thought all that stuff was interesting.
Well, Disney did that themselves.
Disney already did that, right?
True.
Yeah,
they did it first. We're just following. Oh yeah, man. No,
man.
Like for me, I always thought that the latest Rogue One is probably one of the best Star Wars movies. Solo for me is probably one of the most fun Star Wars movies that I've seen in recent times. So that's how it's been for me. Like I could watch Solo any day of the week. You throw a thing up there, I'll watch it. So, but great.
If you guys could have another Disney Plus show that was done correctly, I mean, correctly, like we've seen The Mandalorian done, what would you want that hasn't been done? Like
Boba Fett.
Wookiee tells.
Not in the back to tank.
You know what I love? Did you guys ever read? So, how many did y'all read the novels and stuff?
Some of them.
Legends, the Tales from series.
Yes.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
Those would be awesome.
That like almost a what if.
Yeah, because it ties. So it's situations from the original movies, but then it's like the background story of what's going on. Like Tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina, those were great.
They had one where Maul had to fight Vader, or Vader had to fight Maul, and that was really good. I literally picked that one up and like, thicker trade paperback because I was like, this was badass. And he had to fight him, and Maul was confronting him. It's like, you're not worthy. You were Anakin. He's just mocking him. You were a Jedi. He's like, why should you be the next Sith Lord? And he's fighting him with a lightsaber. And he's like, because I hate myself more than I hate anything because of what happened with Padme. And he literally lights the lightsaber inside of himself to get to Maul because he's half android, half robotic. And you're like, yo, that was pretty deep.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, off shot from the hip, I would say like what we were just talking about, like this the Crimson Dawn series, like that kind
that
of
would be good.
The era or that stylized stuff. I don't think I have a specific, because I would say Obi-Wan / Anakin like that, but obviously we're getting that. Hopefully it's done right. But yeah, I think like the Crimson Dawn stuff, and I would love to see more of like the slums of the universe, like go down into depths, because then in the beginning of Rogue One, when they're not to keep moving on that, but when they're when Cassian is running through all that, like that stuff, man, like I love seeing crowded streets and kind of.
It's almost like the Star Wars 1313. If they would have done that like a live action,
I wish they would have made that
slums.
game.
I hate seeing footage of that game, man.
Me too, bro.
Damn.
It's like, why can't they go back to it?
I
they
know.
have some stuff already.
I mean, they've already got a good foundation, right?
Yeah.
But I think that would be kind of cool to see on live action.
Yeah, maybe we'll see that
video
one
game
day.
Bounty Hunter. That was about the Jango Fett.
The game.
The game, yeah.
That they showed, or that just recently came out. The gameplay of that, right?
No. That's 1313.
Oh,
They
that's
showed that was
1313.
about Boba Fett being younger, but in I think it was on Xbox and I believe maybe PlayStation 2, if I'm not mistaken. But is a video game called Bounty Hunter, and it was about Boba Fett and how he became the subject of the clones. You know that he was brought into that. Really awesome story.
See, I would like that type of story. If they did another Disney Plus series and I could pick something, I'd want to see. I think George just mentioned it. Like, what happened to the clone commanders? You know, the story of Bly, the story of Baccarat, the story. You know, just what we know what happened with Rex. We saw him in Rebels, and now he's officially. They're saying that he's in, Return of the Jedi. But like, what happened to the rest of them? You know, because did they just kill them? Did they just disappear? Did they get absorbed and assimilated into the Empire? What happened? You know, because we do see some Bad Batch activity where they don't want them. So what happened to them?
Right.
Even like the clone commandos, like the Republic commandos. I would love that.
I'm wondering if they're going to show more of that in the second season of Bad Batch. You know,
I hope so.
Because they cover some of them briefly in those. They seem to like touch on some of the clones in that show.
Yeah.
What I wish they would do is like the cut scenes you get like in the Old Republic and stuff. I wish they make a movie like with how they do the cut scenes. It's the same problem like with Blizzard and World of Warcraft. Their cut scenes are like so cinematic. The graphics on it are so well done. Like make a movie like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Like what they did with what's that massive shooter or kill? I forgot what they just did an animation for that.
Okay.
Huh?
For Halo or no?
No, not Halo. It's an anime that's on animation that's on Netflix. I'm trying to think of the name of it right now.
Apex?
Apex
Legends?
game?
No, it's the other one. No, it's the other one.
The animation on it was so freaking great, man.
With the
Can't think of
magic.
this right now.
The A-Crane game, movie show.
Arcane
was
what it was called.
Yeah, Arcane.
Oh, Arcane. Yeah, that one's pretty neat.
Yeah, I thought the animation on that was fantastic. They did something like that. That would be kind of cool. I'd be down for something Star Wars like that. But it needs to be dark and gritty like that. That's something I would like from Star Wars is, maybe make it a little more on the side of PG-13 toward not rated R, but more dark like that. And less of the kiddie stuff sometimes.
That's a good point because remember they were talking about like with the games and stuff, there was not going to be any more dismemberments, but hopefully that last episode 5 kind of did away with that when Mando went all nuts with the dark saber.
See, that was dope.
So hopefully they keep that up in some games too.
Yeah, they should.
I mean, the losing of the arms isn't horrible. There's no like spewing blood. They cauterized the wound right there. So
yeah.
True.
I just hope they don't do main characters. I know we got Obi-Wan coming, but I sometimes I want to see it, but I don't want to see it. But like Mace Windu, I'm kind of afraid if they even go that route. Like Mace is the one that saved Grogu, or some other main character Jedi that saved Grogu. I kind of don't want that. I kind of want a new Jedi. That's the case.
Expand the universe.
Yeah.
I want a Quentin Tarantino Sith movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Broken up chronologically too.
Like
He won't
Reservoir
do
Dogs.
Dude, but you can follow that. Even
That
though
dude
he
hates
breaks
Star
it up,
Wars,
you
man.
can follow it.
Yeah,
he
you
hates Star
can.
Wars.
He does not like Star Wars.
He's actually a Trekkie, I think.
He is a
Yeah.
Trekkie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wanted to do a Star Trek
All
movie.
right, George, edit that out. I never said that.
I would like to see some old Republic stuff. If I was to see something done out of Star Wars, we haven't got anything like that. It doesn't necessarily need to be Revan, but something.
That's what I was gonna say.
Republic would be cool.
Yeah, they made me not want to see anything from what I grew up with. Now just give me new stuff so that way I don't have any type of expectation. Just let it be what it is.
Yeah.
Or even this High Republic stuff that they got coming out. Have you finished that first book yet, Josh?
No, I'm like a little halfway, 3/4
halfway
full.
through.
Yeah.
How you feeling it? You like it?
I like it, man. I've been going on and off with like reading it and then listening to the audio version because like when I download Audible, I got like 2 free credits. I'm trying to figure out what is the best way for me to read because I'm an idiot and I cannot read a book to save my life. I mean, I can physically read, but I cannot. Dude, I just 3 sentences in, I'm thinking about something else in my head. So
comics.
Yeah, I'm going back and forth on what the best version of it is. But yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, it's cool. Once again, it's something new. I'm down for anything new. So
yeah,
well,
I like that first book. I'm into the like I'm doing it in order right now. So like the first book is an adult book, and the next one is made for kids, and then the
Like
one
the
after
young
that
adult, right?
is a young adult, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in the young adult book. That one is confusing as hell. I'm not feeling that one as much, and it has less of a tie-in to the first book than the second one did. So that's kind of losing me a little bit. I haven't really like gotten in with any of the characters, but the first book was fantastic. So
Yeah.
I'll
I
love
have
to see
all of
something
them.
about that.
So I'm gonna do what you are doing because I have an 11-year-old and a 7-year-old in the house. So I bought them their own series of that. That way they can read them and then I can read it once it starts to tie in.
Cool.
I think it'd be cool just to kind of really deep dive.
Yeah.
Into that whole line. So hopefully it comes good, man. You never know. We could get a shot of it here in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
You know what would be really cool is Darth Talon too.
Darth Talon's a character that we never saw of. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, any of that Old Republic stuff or pre this stuff. Or even
Cad Skywalker.
because they already messed up the sequel stuff. I can't even go beyond that. I don't want to know anything more about what happens that far into the future.
No First Order.
No,
Exactly.
please.
Books that we got. I mean, Heir of the Empire trilogy really, which kicked everything off to keep Star Wars alive, and did nothing with it.
True.
Except for
All
Thrawn. We did get Thrawn out of it.
Yeah, it's true.
This has been an awesome chat. We're almost up, but I do want to show you guys some Star Wars collecting real quick and get your guys' opinions on this one because I'm tempted. So we got some new premium format statues coming out from Sideshow. We got Boba Fett and Ahsoka right there. The Ahsoka face, bro, that looks beautiful. I think it's like spot on. But this Boba Fett is badass, man.
Definitely getting Boba.
You're gonna get Boba?
Yeah.
To Mandalorian Boba Fett.
It's the Mandalorian one. That's why.
Yeah.
I got the Cara Dune coming this week.
Nice. What are you guys' thoughts on this, man? Look at that portrait.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Looks great. I'm
Right?
sticking on Hot Toys though. I can't start throwing in statues.
Yeah.
What? So
Yeah,
do
you
you
gotta
not throw in
bet.
the statues because of the cost of it or because of how much space it takes?
Both.
Both.
Because I'll still buy the Hot Toys version of this. You know what I mean? Because I have more Hot Toys and statues.
Right.
And then trying to display this is just impossible right now for me.
Right.
I try. I was thinking about getting the Hot Toys version of this, and now that I see the PF, I'm like, okay, I would probably get the PF because I got the dancing Mandalorian.
Right.
What Josh is saying.
Too sexy.
I bought the Hot Toys, and then I seen this. I'm like, I'm gonna get that too now.
Oh, true.
I'm getting both.
I'm tempted, man. I feel like I got a lot of Boba Fett product. I don't know that I'm gonna pull the trigger on it yet, but I do like it.
I'm on the fence. I want to see what happens this week with the show.
Right.
I think if I was a real fan of the show, I probably would have pre-ordered it if it's already on pre-order. But
So you think it's too late at this point?
They kind of did themselves a disservice by the show. By the show coming out before this came out.
Technically, that's from the Mandalorian, though.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
is.
from Book of
But
Boba.
if this had been announced in December, I think everybody would have gone nuts on it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Whereas now they're like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That scene when he's wearing that armor, just like that. That's when Boba was badass.
That was the
Oh,
best
yeah.
scene.
That was why,
Yes,
or
Scott.
how I thought they're going to start off with a Book of Boba Fett.
Scott
Right.
Berry, about
Fooled us.
23 to 24 inches.
But he barely had the armor like this in the Mandalorian. I think he only had it for that one episode where he returned, and then by the next
Yeah.
epised all repainted.
When he was a
and-
badass
Yeah.
in that episode.
Yeah, he hooked up with Tony Stark and they gave him a new
Yeah.
armor.
Yeah.
Well, that's just the Mandalorian, man. Everything can get fixed like in a jiffy. You know.
Do we have dimensions on that one yet, or is it just a teaser?
Just a teaser. Yeah,
just a
I'm
teaser.
assuming that's probably going to be released here at the end of Chinese New Year. We'll probably get the pre-order for that, or maybe like in the next week or so, since they showed the exclusive part of it or the helmeted portrait. And then there's still no word on the Ahsoka. But I like the Ahsoka. Ahsoka's nice.
Yeah. Scott Berry was asking what the size already is, for a quarter scale.
Yeah,
very
that's
heavy.
Probably
for sure.
That's gonna be like 22, 23 inches, easy.
He
more
looks
likely,
he looks as tall as the Mandalorian.
right?
Maybe slightly taller because he's on like another ledge.
Yeah, Mando
When
was
you
kind
see
of
the-
short.
He's on like a stone base, so I think he'll be a
Yeah.
little taller than
A
Mando.
little bit taller than Mando. Yep.
True. All right. That's gonna be about it, man. We got hour and 15 minutes in. It's been an awesome show, guys. What did you guys think about the new way of asking the questions? Did that give everybody a chance to talk? Feel good about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I
good,
like
man.
it. 'Cause I get to hear Josh now.
All right.
I'm a talker.
Cool stuff, man. All right, everybody in the chat, thanks for hanging out with us for another episode. We'll be back next week for the finale, man, and hopefully it's going to be a good surprise for all of us, and we're all going to be excited and happy with how they end the show, and it's not going to be a letdown. So,
Wow.
I'm a little bit hyped.
That's
cross
George.
the fingers.
optimism.
Before you kill it, hey George,
Hopeful.
before you kill it,
Yeah.
what's the survey look like? I know you threw a survey. in there
Oh,
at the
that's right. I
beginning.
did throw a survey up there. I should have mentioned that at the beginning.
Survey
So 84% loved it. 84% loved it. 1% hated it. 1% hated it, I guess. And then 15% thought it was okay, nothing special. So most people loved the episode.
Some good numbers.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. So, all right, man. So everybody, thanks for coming. I hope you guys see you guys next week. And until next time, may the force be with you.